What's up guys, and welcome to the Mad Hatter Media channel. My name is Clay. If you haven't been here before, nice to meet you. And if you have, it's good to see you. So with that being said, this is the video. This is the review of when I review this guy, the S22 Ultra. It's a no. But anyway, so if you guys are familiar or acquainted with me or my channel at all, you already know I usually just buy whatever the new flagship every year is because, well, it's what I enjoy. And I like to share it with you guys. And let me start off by first saying my favorite thing about this phone, the green. It's great. So yeah, love that. And yeah, it's just kind of like as soon as I got it in the mail, which took a while, by the way, I put it in my pocket and I was like, man, it's good to have a note again, which I know it's technically not a note, but you guys know what I mean. Anyway, so this doesn't take away at all from the fact that I still absolutely love the S21 Ultra, but like I said, it's a different beast from this guy, which I still will classify as a Galaxy Note. Quick look at the outside before anything. I love the new camera array setup. The other one did not look bad, but it is a much cleaner camera array. So I did really want to go with the red, it's not red, the red color straight from Samsung, since I bought this directly from Samsung, which by the way, if you didn't already know, they offered the best trade-ins. They gave me $1,000 trade-in since my S21 Ultra was in good condition, and all I had to do was ship it back to them, and it saved me a ton of money. So that was, of course, super cool. But more importantly, I feel like this phone was a long time coming. I think a lot of people were really waiting and hoping for the new Notes to come out. Note design, you know what I mean? Because let's face it, people love it. And of course, now that they brought back this design, it does come all-inclusive with the new S Pen. Now, if you guys haven't had a Note before, the S Pen is a big thing, like a very big thing. It totally separates itself from the pack when it comes to smartphones, period. There's no other smartphone that, though it might have stylus capability, it isn't just seamlessly integrated and built into the phone like that. It's super secure, sleek, stylish, extremely functional. Not only does it look and feel great with the new rubberized texture, it adds an incredible amount of functionality, which include a ton of features all the way from just scribbling on the phone or utilizing air commands. So yeah, that's why me and a lot of other people really love the Note style of phone. It's an incredible thing. Now, if you guys know me, you probably already know that I'm a curved screen hater. So if it weren't for that, this would be a perfect phone in my opinion, in my book. So of course I thought about grabbing the S22 Plus instead of the Ultra, but the simple fact that I wouldn't get the S Pen along with the updated camera design array and would only be capped out at about, I believe it's 30 times magnification zoom compared to the 100 times space zoom on the Ultra series, I knew I had to just go Ultra. Again, that's just what it takes to be Boss Hog sometimes. So real quick, just to go over the new updates on the S Pen one time. Again, the new rubberized texture is fantastic, and it's basically black on pretty much all the standard colored models, and then you have a matching, just the tip is green, as you can probably see right there. So the S Pen itself, black, but the tip matches the color of the phone, which is green, and I think it's a killer design choice. Hello there, my friends. I wanted to interrupt this video real quick just to go ahead and say a massive thank you to everybody who has subscribed and watched my videos so far. But I wanted to go ahead and announce that I'm going to be doing my first ever giveaway. Exactly 1 month from the date that I upload this video, I will use a random generator to choose a random subscriber, and whoever that person is will receive a $100 Amazon gift card. It's my way of being able to say thanks to you guys for giving me this such a positive experience, and I feel like something like this is long overdue. So guys, to enter to win, all you have to do is, of course, be subscribed, like the video, and leave a comment. It can be absolutely anything and everything that you want, and that will get you entered to win. And as always guys, thank you again so much for watching my videos. I will see you then. Okay, so taking more of an intimate dive into the phone itself and the UI, we've got a lot of the good stuff that we're really already fairly familiar with. Samsungs are known to have some of the best panels, of course, and this one is no exception. When you pay for Boss Hawg pricing, $1,200 US, you get the Boss Hawg package, 120Hz 1440p AMOLED panel. And it is big and beautiful. Not only that, what's most impressive, and you guys have probably already heard it from some of the other tech reviewers, all three of the S22 series phones are boasting over a 1700 nit max brightness for both the S22, S22 Plus, and also the S22 Ultra, which is amazing. Not only is the panel bright already, but if you want, you can go to the display settings and turn on extra brightness. And you can probably already see right there that final 10, maybe 15% of extra brightness is indicated as the orange on the brightness slider. A useful feature to have for sure on an enthusiast level phone like this one. It does of course come stock out of the box with Android 12, as you can probably already see with the Android OS 12 widgets, as well as the color scheming that you can see is scattered all across the UI. And yeah, Samsung continues to be a heavy hitter in the software department, not just in the hardware department anymore. And it's super cool to see. And of course, like any other Samsung flagship, this phone is packed with all of the bells and whistles, all of the features. So everything from the S Pen to the rest of the software features. One of my favorites that I want to share with you guys, if you own a Samsung flagship phone and you don't already use this, there is a toggle for setting your processing speed. And well, to be clear, I usually have it on this right here, which is optimized, which is what I would recommend for you or most people during daily, everyday use. I just happen to have it on max because I was just out and about doing screen recording while having the camera open, and it was heavy duty intensive stuff, and you know, it slayed it. It was the processing chip that's in here is a beast, and when you choose the higher performance profiles, it just lets it go unleashed. So yeah, it's nice that they give you the choice to pick between having an optimized power curve to get a healthy balance of power and performance, but if you want, you can go ahead and kick it up a notch or two. It's kind of like, you know, going Super Saiyan. Think of it like not as base Goku. Think of it like Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3. Like Super Saiyan 1 gets most of everything handled, but if you want to kick it up a notch to let people know that you mean business, put it on the high power profile. You know, it doesn't cook up all your energy, but can handle most of the heavy lifting. And then when you just want to flex and just go on a CPU crunching slaughter spree, the maximum profile is basically your Super Saiyan 3. It only gets pulled out when it's absolutely needed and has a very short runtime. So yeah, that's the power curves. I'm gonna put it back to optimize and we'll just leave it there. We'll leave it at that. Got your light mode, dark mode, affects all the widgets in the UI color scheme, all the standard stuff including your screen recorder and power saving profiles. If I long press on that, if you guys notice, it actually says that the phone is still learning my usage patterns, and that's going to be because I've only had this phone for just shy of a week. I think it's been like 5 days now, and if you guys aren't already fairly familiar with these phones, they take a while to learn your routine, to optimize the application usages, how much is used at what time, what is used, and how much and at what time. So not only is it still in the process of doing that for me, but if you were to turn on the power saving profile anyway, it would do these three things, as you can probably see. Turn off the always on display, which I have off anyway because it is dope, don't get me wrong, but after years of enjoying it, I'd just rather save the battery. Second is limit CPU speed to 70%. So speaking of those power profiles, I want to show you guys one other thing. If we go to battery and device care, so of course at any time you can do an optimization check, make sure that everything is running smoothly, close any apps that are maybe particularly draining your battery or anything like that. But here is the other thing I wanted to show you. If we click on battery, it's more of the same stuff, but more importantly, if you go down to more battery settings, it gives you even more choices like adaptive battery, whether or not you'd like to show the battery percentage or not, as well as if you'd like to allow fast charging, super fast charging, and fast wireless charging. But the important thing is, if you guys didn't know, protect battery, I believe, is on by default when you pull this thing out of the box, which will limit the maximum charge to, it'll top off at 85%. And I understand that a lot of people may not want that, so be wary of that. So with that being said, let's do a little bit of customization. I will admit this wallpaper and theme that I've got going on right now is a little on the tame side, so let's change it up and see what we can get going on. So pretty standard Android 12 stuff. Of course, you can choose your color palettes per wallpaper and whether or not you want to apply the palette to the app icons. So let's start it up by changing it to dark mode. Let's find a different wallpaper. Let's see, what would be pretty cool? This one's pretty cool. Now we get to pick our color palette. Let's do this one. Yeah, so pretty dope. Let's switch back to our default icons. And boom, matches pretty seamlessly. So of course, since I changed the color palette, it does affect the entire UI system wide. So if we were to go to settings again, we should see that pink color cast, which yes we do. So nice little touches pretty much everywhere. Next, how about we showcase some of the S Pen functionality. I believe if we hold the button on the S Pen, it'll launch the camera, which yes it does. Also, if you tap the button once, it takes a picture, and then if you tap it twice, it'll flip it. Let's flip it back, and if we hold it, oh, that's a burst shot. Okay. You also have access to air actions. So if you didn't already know, if you press the button and then move a direction or make a gesture, let's say, it'll go ahead and do the corresponding gesture or action, and you can program that in the air commands menu. So what I did right there is I did the gesture for go home, and I believe if I do the one for scribble, okay, maybe it's screenshot, or maybe it's scribble on the page, something of that nature. Pretty cool stuff though. So yeah, it was screen right. But if we go in here, I believe we can actually view what the air commands are. So air actions, S Pen unlock. So yeah, you guys can probably see, you can kind of go in and, you know, there's back, home, recents, smart select, screen right, and then you can customize them as you go in and out via the which applications you're in. So really cool stuff. It's basically Samsung UI perfected at this point. So there's a lot of stuff right there that you just kind of have to go through to be able to kind of pick apart all the options and different things that you can change. It's super cool. There's a lot of good stuff. There's also other quick note actions. You can see you can create a note, select whatever's on the screen, or it'll smart select an object, things like that. You can also add others. And then of course, don't forget the classic. If you ever need to jot down a quick note, you can always, without your phone being unlocked, you can always just pull out the S Pen and just start jotting down your notes like this. Easy enough. And then when you're done, you can either save it or just insert the S Pen back into it. And easy peasy, 1, 2, 3 Z. So let's go ahead and get into the camera features. Well, actually, before I do that, let me change my theme back to the forest. So let's dive into some of the camera features. Now, I've said it before, and I will say it again, and I will stand by this. This camera system is by far the most robust and feature-packed camera system that has ever been built into a phone, hands down. Even if you don't include the signature special move, the 100 times space zoom, you still have a plethora of other features, smart modes, or they do a huge load of the work for you. There's a ton of great camera modes for you to use, which, by the way, is something I appreciate greatly, being able to actually use a pro mode, something that is non-existent on something like the iPhone, for example. Apple is perfectly happy letting you just pull your phone out of your pocket, take the shot, it looks great, put your phone back in your pocket. But for some people, not everybody wants just that. They want to go deeper. They have somewhat of a knowledge or understanding of how to use an actual camera system and know how to apply that to said pro mode like you have on here on the Samsung devices, for people like us, that's a huge plus, and we appreciate something like that. So what I love about the Samsung Pro camera system is you can do absolutely everything from adjust the ISO, the shutter speed. You can toggle auto and manual focus for focus peaking, manually adjust the white balance. And another thing that I really appreciate now is back in the S21 Ultra series, the Pro mode was only available in the, I believe it was only available in the main camera, the standard wide, and then I think it made it to the wide, then the ultra wide, and then they included the telephoto and then the super telephoto. So I did notice that, and I do appreciate that. It took them a little bit of time, but they did add the Pro camera mode to every one of the camera sensors, and that's awesome. The rest of this stuff you guys are probably already fairly familiar with, like your aspect ratios, spot metering. You can tap to focus and it will lock on or track if the subject was moving, and it does work very, very well. Other standard settings like timer, flash or no flash, and then other really useful settings if you dig into it, such as picture formats where you can shoot raw copies, selfie color tone, video stabilization, and other personal settings. And keep in mind that was just Pro camera mode. There is also Pro video mode, same thing, ISO sensitivity, shutter speed, exposure values, and then of course, before I forget to mention it, you can in fact shoot 8K 24 on this guy. Super steady video is also very awesome, and on top of the Pro camera and video modes, you do have single take, night mode, food mode, panorama, super slow-mo, hyperlapse, portrait video, and director's view.
Do ba 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 do boo do a boo ba do ba do boo boo ba do a do ba do ba do a do ba do ba do 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 a do ba do ba do a do ba do ba do ba do ba do a do ba do ba do a do ba do ba do ba do a do ba do ba do ba do ba do a do 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 a do ba do ba do a do ba do ba do ba do a do ba do ba do do ba do, yeah.
This is the front-facing camera. Obviously, you know, just checking low light performance. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as the rear-facing camera. However, one thing that I have noticed, which is just truly incredible, with these Samsung phones, and especially the S22 series, is just the audio isolation. Like, there's a lot of ambient noises around me right now, which I'm sure it's picking up, but it's isolating out. And from what I've noticed in the previous videos that I have been shooting, it's just done an excellent job. So I'm going to try to demonstrate that. For example, right now I'm just in front of the phone, but if I take my voice to either side of the phone, you'll probably notice a significant audio difference. So let's try it on the right side of the phone. So audio test right side. Okay, probably a big difference there. Let's try it on the other side, audio left side testing. So again, probably quite a significant difference compared to the clarity from me speaking directionally just right in front of the camera. But yeah, pretty incredible stuff. Alrighty guys, so I am shooting 4K 60 while I'm in the line at the coffee shop here in my car, just to kind of test more of a typical run and gun type of vlog setup, I guess. Clearly the microphones are plenty good enough to just vlog on if you want to not have to plug a mic in or anything of that sort. It sounds phenomenal, and considering that it's a smartphone, it looks phenomenal. Please excuse the fact that I'm sweating. It is so hot here in California. I'm telling you, man, everything they say about here that sucks, it's all true. The people, we're all mean. Everything's super expensive. Gas is $6.50, and you gotta make 6 figures just to earn a decent living. Don't move to California. Anyway, yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of the video capabilities on this guy. Though you don't have a full range of dynamic contrast like you would with, say, a full frame camera. As you can see right here, the sky is kind of blown out, but again, with a smartphone, it is to be expected. At least I believe that is how it works. Correct me if you feel like you can explain it better. I would appreciate it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and test out the portrait video mode on the front-facing camera. All right, so this is the portrait video mode right here. It looks amazing. It's, of course, I want to say comparable to iPhone's cinematic mode, but again, to be clear, this came out first. So credit where credit is due there. But yeah, you have a nice, significant yet not overblown out blur around the subject area, and I have tested this with multiple people, multiple subjects, I should say, in the same shot, and it will realize that there is 2 people or multiple subjects and do the focusing accordingly. Now, obviously, this is way better compared to iPhone cinematic mode, to where if you really dial up the background to focus, or say crank open the aperture, so to speak, it gets super heavy, super foggy. And you know, to be clear, it's not really meant to be cranked up that high and used for like single subject portrait video work, which is why it's typically best, from what I found, to dial it back a little bit to where it's a little bit more subtle. I mean, it's typically geared more towards shooting cinematic scenes, compared to where, you know, again, this, just how it states, is meant to be used as portrait video mode compared to cinematic video shooting. So I suppose there is a little bit of a difference in nature right there. You can crank up or down the blurriness, and there is other effects I can probably show you guys right here. So there's a ton of, well, I mean, it looks like there's a few effects that you can go through, and you can crank up or down the effect, so you can make it a lot or very little. It's very cool. Anyway, okay, so today just happens to be a fairly windy day, so it should be a good opportunity to test how impactful that is on the audio quality. In my opinion, I think this phone is still doing a absolute stellar job. But yeah, I wanted to come out here and test the director's view mode, even though I've used it a bunch, but I know I need to show it to you guys. There's a lot of like plants and things going around here, so let's see if I can flip this while I'm already recording. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's see, my brother just showed them to me the other day. He said they were called golden raspberries, and to me it looked like a devil fruit out of One Piece, and I thought it looked awesome. So I want to see if I can get some close-up shots of that guy. Okay, that is going to go ahead and cap it off for this video, guys. That was just some of my personal favorite features of the phone, as well as camera features. Maybe you guys learned something new from the video, or if you're watching, I hope you at least enjoyed it a little bit. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.